So Michael asking here for us to rate our top 5 Miami quarterbacks of all time. And I'm going to let, of course, the guests go first. That'll give me more time to think it over.
George Myra, number 10. His number is retired. He's an old-timer, obviously. He wasn't anytime recent, but one of the first legendary players on offense for the Miami Hurricanes in their history. So that's why we don't wear the number 10 anymore, because it was retired for George Myra. So he's number 1. Number 2, Vinnie Testa Verdi, was a Heisman Trophy winner, played for 57 years in the NFL. And his number 14, also retired, unretired when his son was here as a preferred walk-on for like a year. But otherwise, if your name isn't Vincent Testaverde, either senior or junior, you're not wearing number 14. So that would be number 1 and 2. Just on or the first 2. I'm not going to necessarily say 1 and 2, but of the 5. Number 3, Gino Toretta won a Heisman Trophy. Simple. We're getting to brass tacks here, because back in the day there were so many of them. Mm-hmm. 2 of Bernie Kosar, Jim Kelly, and Ken Dorsey. I'm not going to fight you with whichever 2 you want to take, but I gave you 6, and you can pick your 5. But for me, that would be your top 5, 6. Myra, Testaverde, Kosar, Kelly. I just forgot one.
Kelly, Kosar,
Testaverde,
Myra, Gino, Toretta.
And there we go. Gino, Toretta, and Ken Dorsey. I gave you 6, Mike. That's where I'm going to go with it. And I'm also going to throw this out here. The all-time leading passer is named Brad Kaya, and he's not on that list. Just going to put that out there. And I don't think that he deserves to be on that list. He's outside the top 6 for me. And you have some other guy. Craig Erickson was really good in college. Obviously maybe not to this level, but Brock Berlin was really good in college.
Steve Walsh
was really good in college. Derek King has only been here for a season, but he's really good. So like this is why, and of course, like we've kind of let that moniker go because this is maybe from a time gone by, but this is why Miami was called Quarterback U for a time. Because we had all these guys who came through and were elite level players. And then, Jim Kelly's an NFL Hall of Famer. George Myra also. Like these guys who George Myra might not be an NFL Hall of Famer. But these guys who were known from college through the pros for being elite level players. We haven't had this success at this position as much. But I would say that those would be my top 5.5, 6, with some honorable mentions to those other ones that I named. That's me.
Myra, I just know the name. I cannot go back and think about what he accomplished, what the statistics were, which would have to be evaluated within that time frame of that era, so forth. So I'm just going to leave him off my list because I can't even evaluate him. I only know the name. I went Vinnie 1, Kosar 2, Kelly 3. Now, again, these quarterbacks should be rated based on what they did at the University of Miami. I am taking a big swing toward their NFL careers there by doing that. Mm-hmm. But they certainly produced at the collegiate level. And again, their numbers have to be taken into consideration against the era when it was more difficult to throw the ball downfield. But those guys really ushered in, were among worthy quarterbacks at Miami to usher in the passing game. But the quarterbacks across the nation, they were 2 of the guys that were the forefront of the passing game and the passing era in the late 70s and early 80s. So I got Kosar at 2 and Kelly at 3. I got Gino at 4 and Walsh at 5. I threw down Dorsey, Erickson, and Derek King as rounding out my top 8. There you go. Fun question there, Michael. Appreciate the all-time questions. I don't like doing that because I like to be accurate and I like to know that I've done my exhaustive study and research to put down, these are my top 5, here they are, and I can vet it out and I will argue with anyone. So for me, just to slap it down, it goes against my grain, but that's what we got going here tonight, of course.